Hi, this is Marquita. Welcome back to Trying to Do It All on a Wing and a Prayer. Woo! It is Friday where I am, and I want to start with a grounding, breathing type of situation with affirmations, just so that we can get centered. If you're in a place where you can be comfortable, please follow along. If not, then just if you're driving, be careful. Let's not, close our eyes if we're driving. But let's go ahead and get centered and grounded. I want to invite you to close your eyes, place your arms across your chest as if you're hugging yourself. Inhale through your nose, and as you inhale, allow the breath to fill and expand through your abdomen. Exhale through your mouth, pulling your abdomen in towards your navel. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, releasing the air. Inhale through your nose, expanding the abdomen. Exhale through your mouth, pulling the abdomen in towards the navel. As you're hugging yourself and continue to breathe, repeat this affirmation after me. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe in my mind. I am safe in my body. I am safe in my spirit. I am safe. I am safe in my mind. I am safe in my body. I am safe in my spirit. Inhale again and exhale. Okay. Today I want to talk about how everything is spiritual. I want to talk about receiving messages from animals, nature, and a little bit about shame. So we exist in this physical world and don't really know all of what's going on. We don't know, we just don't know. I mean, people have theories, we have science, we have ideas about the multiverse, the spirit world, the astral realm, religious and groups and gurus, and all this information is out there, but do we really know what is true or not? So let's go with me here and let's say that everything is spiritual. We exist in this physical 3D plane, but let's imagine that everything that is manifesting on this physical plane is a ripple effect or a result of something that's happening on a astral realm or spiritual world or spiritual plane, however you want to say it. Let's say that everything here in this physical is connected to spirit. We are spiritual beings. We are souls. We are also a part of nature. I mean, our DNA, we have animal DNA. I mean, we have research and all these people and scientists and professionals or whoever who have made discoveries about human nature and made theories about how we evolved to become what we are today. But we know that we are connected to nature. We are earth creatures. We have the natural elements, the elements of nature within us. We are made up of fluid, of water. We need air to breathe. All these things are natural elements. And so, what do I mean by everything is spiritual? For example, I'll give you some examples that I've had happen to me recently. So let's say, I was outside of my job one day talking to my best friend about a situation, or I don't know, catching up. I can't remember what we were actually talking about. But as we were talking, I saw maybe a smaller bird, maybe I want to say like a crow, attacking a hawk. And I think there were two smaller birds attacking this hawk, and the hawk was like dipping and diving, trying to move away. And so later that day, I found out about a conflict between my loved one and someone else. And so, you know how that saying, as above, so below? I remember looking up at these birds fighting and feeling as if this natural world, this spiritual world, this unseen world is sending me this message that there's a conflict that's coming. This is a warning. There's something that's about to happen where this smaller or lesser whatever is attacking something that's bigger, or something that's has different ability. Okay, so another example, I was working in private practice for therapy, and I had a client who, I think I was meeting him for the first time. So I was doing that initial assessment, and he was talking to me about his grandmother, and his grandmother had passed away. And as soon as he said that, I looked to my left and I saw a deer outside the window. And I mean, as he continued to talk about his grandmother, but I just remember thinking, okay, well, if everything is spiritual in my world, I saw that as a message from his grandmother, that she's there, she's watching over him, she's looking after him, because he was going through grief. Another example, I remember leaving my parents' house one night and feeling a little frustrated, sad, down about some situation, and asking myself, my higher self, my guides, my ancestors, like, for advice and for guidance. And in that moment, I saw deer along the side of the road. And so for me, that was a message from the spiritual realm saying that we're here with you. You're going to be okay. Another example, I started working as a dance teacher at my old high school, and I was nervous. You know, high school was challenging for me, as it is for other people in many ways. And I was nervous about going back to my high school to teach. And I remember having, you know, all the lesson plans that I wanted to do, the things that I wanted to do, the dances that I wanted to teach. And, you know, I was all hype and ready. And I was just moving real fast, just trying to get everything together, make sure my room was good, and make sure I had my little classroom management plan, which ended up being a mess. But that first day, I remember driving to the school, I hit a turtle in the middle of the road. And I was like, oh my God, I need to slow down. I need to slow down, because turtles are slow, but they are protected. And I'm just moving too fast and did not know what I was getting myself into. And I was actually moving towards burnout really quickly because of all the energy and all the anxiety that I had about teaching at the school. So I'll give one more example. One time last year, I felt like I was under a spiritual attack. And I remember driving home one night from somewhere, and I saw a black cat. And the cat ran into the driveway of the house and stopped and turned around and looked at me. And I stopped and looked at it. And we just kind of looked at each other. And as I was looking at the cat, I felt like I would be protected, because black cats for me symbolize protection and feminine energy and mothering energy and nurturing. So I felt that these guys, this spiritual realm is telling me, hey, you're protected. It's okay. And I'm saying all this to say that I want to challenge you to consider what your life could be like if we are able to connect to the spiritual world more through nature, through animals, through trees, through the elements, the wind, the rain. With that perspective, what insight can you gain? What messages can you receive? What knowledge on a daily basis can help you as we are out here trying to do all the things? Sometimes it's hard to have, for me, it's hard for me to have the spiritual routine and rituals and practice and all the things that I would love to do because of being busy and just having a lot on my plate. But on a daily basis, I know that I need to do something. I need to tune in to spirit in order to get through my day, in order to thrive, in order to find joy, in order to be happy, and also in order to pour into myself so that I can pour into other people in the type of work that I do. And so why is all this relevant? Well, we, at least as a country, need to tap into the spiritual world because society is changing. Society is really falling apart in a way. We need guidance. We need warnings. We need messages. We need to be prepared mentally, physically, spiritually for what's coming. It's definitely a shift in the age and the cosmos and all that we are doing right now in this world. Things are shifting. And we as humans, as souls, are more powerful. You are more powerful than you think. I've had to learn this over the years and really learn to trust my intuition, trust my guides, and trust that my ancestors are going to support me when I'm doing what I need to do, what I'm supposed to be doing. So I want to empower you to consider how you would move differently or think differently or understand your life differently if you had the perspective that everything is spiritual. As a medium, a spiritual medium, energy healer, intuitive, I use visualization a lot to tap into this spiritual world. I was just telling a friend the other day that I use visualization when I'm doing my Reiki sessions, when I'm doing my mediumship sessions to help me to communicate with my loved ones or the loved ones of my clients. And so one exercise that you can try is to visualize that your ancestors or your guides that you're trying to connect with are next to you. Visualize that you're sitting at a table and they're coming to the table to speak to you. Visualize that you are going about your day and they're right there with you, guiding you, teaching you, supporting you. And you may not feel anything, you may not sense anything, but consistency and with sincerity and faith, you will learn how to tune into at least your own inner voice and your inner world to better understand how you as a human, you as a spiritual being can operate in a way that will uplift you. When I was developing my intuition and psychic awareness years ago, I had I don't know if it was maybe kind of like a mentor. An exercise that she had was to when you're going into your readings, visualize that you in your mind that you're in a room, in whatever your room or office looks like, and the ancestor or guide or loved one who you're trying to speak to comes into that office and you want to communicate with them. Another exercise that I've done over the years is I might do scripting, or I might draw and get impressions from my ancestors, from my guides. And so another exercise that you can do to tap into your intuition is to think about the question that you have, and as you're sitting there kind of in quiet and stillness, imagine that there's a blank sheet of paper in front of you. And as you're asking that question, allow the answer to come to show itself on that blank sheet of paper. And as you sit and wait and know that the answer is coming, after a moment, you can just start writing on a sheet of paper and just write, free write, don't edit, don't, take anything out. Just keep writing whatever you feel, whatever you hear, whatever you sense, until you feel like you're getting the answers that they're giving you. So these are just some examples of ways to tap into spirit. And I'm sharing this because I've seen the spiritual community blossom and boom in these last few years. I remember years ago when I started on this journey. We're all on a journey. We're all on our own journeys. But years ago, I remember kind of trying to figure out my intuition and my gifts, and I was trying to grow my gifts and do these exercises. I would make up exercises and practice and dream work and all these things that I was trying to do to enhance my gifts, and so that I could help people heal from whatever situations they were struggling with. I remember feeling shame and about breaking away from certain religions, shame from saying, okay, well, I'm interested in learning about something else. I might have grown up one way, but now I'm interested in learning more because my soul is calling me to learn more. Or if I would share certain information with family members or friends, I would feel shamed into thinking, oh, well, you're doing something that's wrong. No, it's not wrong. We are all spiritual beings. We are all human. We all have gifts. We all have within us something that's beyond what religion can teach. There's a lot of misinformation, a lot of uneducated people talking about religion in ways that they think they understand, but may not fully comprehend and understand. So this coming out of the closet, this spiritual closet, has become a thing lately, and I'm glad that the spiritual community is booming. I'm glad that people are finding their own way back to themselves and their own spirit. If you want to explore what your soul is curious about, I would suggest starting with nature, animals, the elements. Connecting with nature is easy. I mean, we're surrounded by nature. It's a natural thing. It's not something that's scary. It's easy to see the divine in the complexity of nature, even within our own bodies, how our cells, how our organs, how our brain keeps us alive, and we don't even understand, or we're not even trying to, keep ourselves alive physically or thinking. We're not thinking about breathing. I mean, unless you're having a hard time breathing. Most of the time we go about our day, unless you have an issue with breathing, and you're not thinking about what's making me breathe right now, what's making my heart beat right now, what's making this earth move right now. As we're speaking, we're literally moving. The earth is moving. And if you just think about the motion of everything that's happening, the motion within nature, the motion within ourselves, you cannot help but see the divinity in that. There's no reason to feel shame about wanting to know more. Be more, because you are more powerful than you think you are. Your ancestors are your family members. These are your guides, your teachers who are wanting to give this knowledge to you. And I know that from my own personal experience. I will talk about shame in another episode, because shame is so dangerous. Shame, and this is a tangent, shame, especially when I'm working with clients, it's just a cancer that, it just will eat you up. Shame will keep you in fear. It will keep you stuck. It will keep you feeling less than, unworthy. And when you're able to step into a place where you feel no one can shame you, then that's powerful. And I want to encourage you to look at those parts of yourself, like we talked about in episode 1, that have felt shamed. And using this perspective of everything is spiritual, how can you create an inner voice that is giving you more helpful feedback, more helpful dialogue than a negative voice or inner critic that is shaming you? So that's it for today. Until next time, I challenge you to see everything as spiritual as you move through your day and as you try to do it all on a wing and a prayer.